Let's call to order this OCPC finance meeting on Tuesday, October 26, 2021 at 5:45 PM. I will read the accessibility statement. This meeting is accessible to people with disabilities. Microphones or telephones will be used by all speakers. Large print materials are available upon advance request. If you would like either of these accommodations, please contact Mary Waldron at 508-583-1833 extension 202. The notice of non-discrimination rights and protections to beneficiaries with regard to federal Title VI non-discrimination protections and the state non-discrimination protections is posted in this meeting room and is available on the Old Colony Planning Council website. Please contact Mary Waldron at 508-583-1833 extension 202 for more information. Thank you. So we'll just go right into roll call.
Yep. Chairman Silvestri,
Present.
Sandra Wright,
Yeah, present.
Lee Hartman,
Present.
Stephen Santusonio,
Present.
Christine Joy.
Present.
For staff, Charlie Kilmer,
Present.
Brenda Robeson,
Present.
and our new finance assistant is Sean Noel.
Welcome, Sean.
Thanks, Sean.
All right. So everybody have a chance to look and review the minutes from last meeting, September 28th. I wasn't here. I was moving, which was fun. So, but if there's no questions, I would just need a motion to accept.
I'll make a motion for
approve
the
the
September,
minutes.
yeah, I'll make a motion for the September 28 minutes.
I'll
I'll
second that.
second.
I'm sorry.
Nope.
Sorry, Christine.
Okay. So motion's been passed to accept the minutes for the September 28th, 2021 meeting last month. So Bob Moran isn't here, right? Because he got on call because of the storm.
That is correct.
All
We
right,
should
so-
vote, we should just vote that, or you should acknowledge that everybody's in unanimous support, just for the record, the minutes.
I'm going to do, actually, if I could go back to that, Mr. Chair, just on the roll for the draft.
Oh, yeah,
Chair Silvestri, this is on the motion to accept the minutes.
I'll accept.
Sandra Wright,
Yes.
Lee Hartman,
Except,
Stephen Santusonio,
Accept.
Christine Joy,
Accept.
unanimous.
I'm jumping the gun. What can I say? I'm sorry.
no, no.
I think
I'm
I
here to-
already did that.
I'm here to protect you, don't worry.
Thank you, Lee.
But Mr. Chair, and I spelled OPIP wrong, sorry. So Bob Moran did meet with Rockland Trust yesterday. It was a good meeting. It does look like he will require a time to pull together the report, a little bit behind, but he's going to be doing a report on a couple items, acknowledging the fact that a policy is required. And then also in the Rockland Trust meeting, they found a draft of a trust agreement that we have a copy of that we're going to do some research upon that. And then for Bob's analysis to the finance meeting and then to the council. So there may be a need, well, we just talked about a little bit about the timeframe for that expo in December, but there may be a need for a finance meeting in November to go over Bob's recommendations and analysis.
Now, have you seen what he has so far?
We've sat in on most of the meetings. So again, even through this analysis, to get a copy of a draft trust was almost like gold mine that we didn't, at least I did not know that Pat had been working on it. It wasn't executed, but it was, so we're going to do some work. We're going to look through some records and then reach out to Pat to see if in fact it had been executed. That's number one. So to answer the question, there is not a written report yet. So Bob does.
I only asked because in our August meeting, he kind of went he dug deep, and it's one of those things where I feel like the council is not really going to want all the information that he has, to be honest. I mean,
Right.
he could discuss about it for 3 hours and it's not that it's
So-
not right. It's not the right information, but it's just something that,
It's
just
pretty
so in
deep.
depth. Yeah.
We talked a little bit, Charlie and I talked a little bit today, that it might be even just necessary to, whichever organization or institution that we go with, that they do some outreach to council members on either a one-to-one. There's some members that are well-versed in terms of what OPEB and the necessity of it, and there's some are like, what are we talking about? So that's not, and there's a lot of new members and trying to play catch up. So that is kind of like the first and foremost thing. The second piece is to have that policy, to know, as an organization, be knowledgeable about how aggressive or not aggressive, or where we are in terms of, so we had a bad month, and we're going to hear about it today in terms of September, but everybody who had investment had a bad month, for the most part. So kind of getting that would be one of the takeaways. To your point, Bob did dig deep. There's a lot, and trying to just keep it to the level of a chart of here are the three, right? The state is one. Here's what they each have. Here's the pluses. Here's the minuses. Here's my analysis. That's what I'm expecting.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
So that's, I don't know if there's any other questions about
Like,
Bob's assessment.
if I may, like Doug was mentioning, it could be, long and drawn out, where I think a lot of the information doesn't have to necessarily be included in it. So I think just a smaller version of, what his ideas are, and would be good, I think, for the whole council, myself.
I think that's great. And again, the process is going to be, he's going to make his presentation first to the finance committee, to then have it be vetted, and then so that gets reported to, and then he will do the presentation for the whole council in case there's questions that come up. So so that's OPEB. Next will be, let me just get out of the screen. Oops. Sorry, Brenda, let me get to yours.
That's okay. I need my overhead light popped out, so I'm having to move my lamp closer so I can see my paper.
Okay, and I will make this bigger for everybody. There we go. Can everybody see that?
Yep.
Yeah.
Brenda?
Okay. Statement of expenditures report shows total expenses for the month at $206,447.41. On to the cash position report. Shows income for the month of $61,488.73. Disbursements for the month were $97,114.84. Total cash available at month's end was $1,137,880.35. The OPEB account had a loss of $18,257.26. Bringing the ending balance in the OPEB account to $886,104.37. On to the budget resources report. Total receipts for the month being $61,488.73 brings the total cumulative receipts in FY22 to $352,371.99. Moving on to the AAA report. Pass-through cumulative billing total recorded was $1,487,036. The remaining fund balances showing at this time are $1,412,903. Ombudsman and admin funds cumulative billings recorded are $262,888. Bringing the remaining balances reported in admin and ombudsman to $251,475. Voluntary transportation account fund beginning balance in September was $184,363.16. Total payments to the volunteers in September were $939.77. There were no donations received in September. The fund's ending balance was $183,423.39. Just a quick note that I want to read about the AAA report. Due to the fact that EOEA is historically many months behind on income and expenses, sometimes as much as 6 months, the monthly financial report for AAA is never in line with the month's financials being reported. The EOEA also changes fund allotment amounts on a regular basis, right up to the very end of the fund period, which includes regular carryover such that the numbers consistently change. Therefore, due to the simple fact that recorded income and expenses for any and all AAA programs are already reported on the budget resources report, and the budget allotments are shown on the regular budget report, in the same way that all other grant and program funds are reported, I believe it is unnecessary and redundant to report individual AAA program in detail, especially as none of the actual detail lines up with the month's financial reports. Therefore, I respectfully propose that from this time forward, the AAA report simply consists of the following details only. First report being an actual up to the moment total income received and expenses recorded for A, admin and ombudsman funds, and B, total of all AAA pass-through funds. And the second report being the volunteer transportation program fund balances, which would be the small graph that's already there. So that is what I would like to do. I've never liked this AAA report because it's just not accurate at all, because the money is it lags too much. Sometimes 2 fiscal years are involved in the money that's coming in and going out, and it's just not an accurate reporting. So everything else is really reported as income and expense, and that's what I would like to do with this report as well.
Brenda, did we talk about this? Because I don't remember we talking about this week.
Well, I mean, it's come up, it has come up actually many times about the AAA report. So, I mean, I didn't talk to you specifically about this, but that's, I'm just sort of putting it out there.
Well, can I make a recommendation? Let's put for the next meeting, and next time there's a financial meeting, maybe just do what you're talking about and do a comparison. So
okay, I would have done that for this, but I wanted to sort of put it out there first before I actually did that.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay, so moving on to the ROM September.
Can we talk one more thing, just so the council members are, because I think the last time we discussed was also the, just in terms of the payments from EOEA, that when you came back from vacation, you were surprised that the funds had not been received yet. So Brenda penned an email and included everybody just to confirm they did get back, that they promised that they would, they asked for our patience, and that hopefully that I think it was going to be resolved or see some funding this week. Because I think what you had said is that we were getting a little bit tight in terms of going to funding.
Yes, for sure. For sure. Very frustrating. So, I'll keep you posted on, when we receive funds, I will let everybody on the finance committee know, because it's a pretty big deal.
Yep.
So, okay. So moving on to the ROM September 21 statement and activity. Balance at the beginning of the month was $178,450.91. Receipts were $12,592, bringing the total ROM FY22 receipts to $24,292. Expenses for the month were $6,283.53, bringing the total ROM expenses in FY22 to $26,972.51. The ending balance in the account was $173,468.70. And that brings us to our budget report. Page 1. Total FY22 expenditures through the end of September were $510,973. Our percentage rate in September is at 21.58%. Ideal percentage in the third month of the fiscal year is 25%, so we continue on a positive trend. The updated budget categories are, because the budget numbers have changed somewhat in the in the proposed budget. The equipment supplies have increased from $2,200 to $2,200 from $1,000 to bring us in line to budget trends. Fringe benefits decreased from $195,000 to $185,000 to allow for fringe benefits that will now go directly through the direct expenses. Loan interest expense increased to $10,000 to $12,000 from $10,000 because of the increased interest rate with the refinance. Printing increased to $9,000 from $6,000 to bring in line to budget trend. Postage increased from $2,000 to $5,000 to bring in line to budget trend. Miscellaneous surplus has increased to $208,772, up from $92,472 to bring budget expenses into balance with the increased grant funds expected. Okay, moving to budget report page 2. The income and revenue has been adjusted to show additional funds expected. This brings our projected income surplus to $208,772, which is corrected. The amount, I think the amount on here, no, actually it does. It brings the income surplus to $208,772. So we've got quite the surplus at this point. Budget report page 3, no reportable changes at all. And then the last report on the regular financials is a list of October's combined accounts payable, accounts payables for the month. I'm sorry, can't talk. Okay, so that's it for the regular financials. Mary, do you want me to just move right into the?
To see if there's any questions that anybody
Okay,
has.
any questions on the budget? On any of the financials? Okay,
I had just one quick question.
okay.
For the increase in miscellaneous funds, that was just to balance out the budget, right?
Can you repeat the question? I'm sorry.
That increase for those miscellaneous funds, that
Yep.
was just kind of just to balance out the budget because of the
That's
the
exactly
decrease.
right. That's
Okay,
exactly
yeah,
right.
that's where-
I could show it as a huge surplus with the two different numbers, but I like to show it as a budgeted balance because we're pulling out of that miscellaneous fund for different things on a pretty regular basis.
Right.
Okay,
Thank you.
welcome.
Mr. Chair, you're going to need a motion on the financials.
Okay, so I have a motion to accept the financials for today's October 26th meeting.
I'll accept, motion to accept.
Second,
Second. All right. So the
On the motion, I can call the roll call.
yeah.
Mhm.
I was
Chairman
gonna
Sylvester.
I was gonna say that. I was spitting it out. Except
Chairman Silvestri,
I accept it.
Sandra Wright,
accept,
Lee Hartman,
Accept.
Stephen Santusonio,
Accept.
and Christine Joy.
Accept.
That's motion approved.
Thank you. All right, so moving on, I think we're gonna do the audit update. I think Brenda, you got the next
I
3
do.
fast. You're taking it away.
I'm the busy meeting girl for this meeting.
You are.
I am going to attempt to share my screen.
Here, let me stop mine.
Okay,
Now you can.
okay. I'm hoping it's going to work.
It is
Am I sharing my screen? Did it go on the screen?
perfect. It's
Yay
great.
me!
Yay you.
Okay, so the first report, the audit update. Markham is preparing for field work at OCPC for the week of November 9th. We are in year 2 of 3 with Markham. I've been extremely happy with their work. We should discuss our audit and the auditors after we have closed year 2, which should happen in January of 2022. After with items such as, do we plan to continue with Markham or do we want to seek out other auditors? At that point in time, we will have a better feel for how the audit, went this time around. It was pretty smooth last time around. So that's pretty much all I have to say about that. Mary, did you want to add anything?
No, just really, just other than the contract that we did sign does allow for a additional year, but I thought it was a good time for just a
Yes,
quick stop to let the council and the finance members know where we are.
for
You know,
sure.
Brenda, as Brenda said, it really has been pretty smooth in working with them, and so that's all I have.
Okay. Next up is the NICRA report. Our indirect provisional rate has been approved at 108.71%. The indirect cost rate is to be used on all grants, contracts, and other agreements with the federal government. This NICRA rate is good for 2 fiscal years, 7 FY20 through 6 FY22. As soon as the FY21 audit has been approved in January, we will need to apply for the NICRA for FY23 and FY24. And this will need to be done regularly for all federal grants from now on. So our official indirect rate will be 108.71. And I'm assuming that on our audit, it will be reworked at that number for the next 2 years, because they have to follow the guidelines for the federal government. So instead of depending on our audit to give us the indirect rate, it now will be dictated by the NICRA, what they approve from year to year. So,
An action will be required on this for the finance to accept the provisional rate of 108.71%.
And that's for today's meeting?
Yes,
Okay. So do I have a motion to accept the NECRA approved rate at 108.71%?
Motion so moved.
Okay,
Second, Lee Hartman.
thank you. All right,
okay.
so motion's
Okay.
been approved.
Nope,
roll
gotta
call,
vote it.
roll call, Chairman Silvestri,
Approved.
Sandra Wright,
Yes.
Lee Hartman,
Approve.
Stephen Santusonio,
Approved.
Christine Joy.
Approve.
Thank you.
Yeah, Doug, you don't want to be stuck in our parliamentary hell. You're doing a great job. Don't worry about
Oh, man, I'm lagging today. I'm lagging.
No, it's okay.
I'm sorry.
There's nothing else left.
Mm.
Brenda.
Okay, so moving on to our bank account update. First of all, Christine, thank you so much for doing so much work reaching out to these banks. And here is where we stand at the moment. Northeastern Savings, a letter has been sent to remove the current signers who are no longer active. Affidavits need to be sent to Northeastern for each person to be added as a new signer. I do need a copy of your driver's license, Christine, again, which has to go with I know you've signed and filled out your information, but the affidavits that you sent me, I had 2 page 1s, or no, yeah, 2 page 1s, and then I had 2 page 2s, but they were both signed by you. So I need to get the blank pages of that affidavit to be part of the documents that have to be signed by Doug and Sandra.
Brenda, the guy that I worked with said that you just need to have them, I'm all set. They have everything they need from me.
Okay,
So you just need to have Doug and Sandy fill out that page 1. And then on that page 2, there's 2 of them because we've got 2 accounts. So they need to sign each one of those, and you need to notarize it and get it back in, and then we'll be all set.
so 3 signatures go, all 3 signatures go on that page 2?
On page 2, correct.
Excellent. Okay. I thought that might be the case, but I wasn't sure.
And Doug is coming into the office tomorrow for the council meeting, so we can grab
Okay,
his signature, and Sandy, we can coordinate with you.
excellent.
Yeah, I'll be in.
Well, actually, I have everything from Sandy, except for she just needs to sign that second page. She already filled out the first
Yeah,
page.
no,
So
I
Right.
remember that, but will you be in tomorrow for the council meeting, or just tomorrow during the day?
me?
Yeah, Sandy.
Oh,
Oh, no, I won't be back from New Hampshire till
Oh,
Thursday.
that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Okay, perfect.
Okay.
We'll coordinate. Thank you.
So in any event, and Doug, I'll need to get a copy of your driver's license as well. So once we get those, I will notarize them and get them to the bank, and that should be as simple as that. And I've listed here the two accounts that we have with Northeastern Savings. Rockland accounts are completely all set. We have excellent communications and people that we are in direct contact with. They know us. So these accounts are all set. I have online access, and anything I need, all I have to do is call, and and they will speak to me because they know me. So Rockland accounts are all set. Harbor One, Lee Hartman, Bob Moran, and Fred Gilmetti are signers. And one of them will need to request the paperwork to change the signers. And I believe Lee
He
has
did.
done that. Okay.
Yes.
So-
So what they said is that we have to appear in person.
Yep.
Myself,
Okay.
the two new signers.
And so it's going to be Lee and then Christine, since you're in Plymouth, and we can maybe figure out how we can do that. And then Sandy, we need just to coordinate with you.
Yeah, I'm usually in Plymouth, so that's not a problem. If they
Okay.
can just let me know.
Okay, so we have the Advantage Savings account there and the money market account, and I guess we'll just leave those alone for now. Since once it seems like the switchover is not that big of a deal with them, so that bank should be good. Moving on to SCU Credit Union, we can't change the signers at all. We would need to close the accounts in order to reopen them, and then they would have to be reopened by all three signers would have to be present. We don't really want to have to do this every 3 years. Christine Joy suggests that we close these two accounts and deposit the funds into another established account or another bank that is easier to work with. I personally recommend that we close these accounts ASAP and get the funds into Rockland Savings for accessible cash. Right now, our available cash balances are very low due to the AAA backlog. I've been having to transfer funds on a weekly basis to cover our payroll. And now my regular fund is low because the accounts payables this month were high because of the employer insurance bills came through. So it would be, and we don't know, once we get the accounts built back up again, when we get the money from AAA, it will be a huge amount of money. But if this ever happens again, it's good to have money to fall back on. So that is my recommendation. So I'll just leave that out there.
Who's the signatories on that account?
That one is me, Frank, and Fred.
We don't have an issue then with closing that account. We can just do that.
Right.
Right, okay.
What are those account balances, Brenda?
Let me look on the cash report.
So a couple of things, just and as that is, then the other piece is just to know when these accounts are also coming due. So then when they're coming due, do we want to stick with that? Do we want to become a little bit more in a different type of account? Not on all of these, obviously, but there was, I think it was really mostly the SCU that was coming up, and we had to make a quick decision and let's just keep it going. Is everybody hearing wind? Because I'm getting wind in my backyard. So,
Okay, Christine, the share savings has a balance of $104,727 and change. And the money market has $106,811.31.
And when can we withdraw that money?
Well,
Do we have to-
Anytime.
When we go in and close it, I imagine you could
Yeah,
close it
it's-
right then and there and probably get a
Yeah.
cashier's check unless they want to
Right.
direct transfer to somewhere. I don't know.
and again, that's Frank and Fred and who else?
Me.
Okay, Christine. Okay. So,
So I'd make a motion to close that account and move that money over, at least for now, to Rockland Trust.
Right.
Is this, just one question, is that the share savings or both of them,
Both of them,
Both.
both accounts.
both accounts? I'll make a motion.
I just did.
Oh,
second,
you made the
Let's
motion. I'll
second that.
second it then. Sorry.
One of those days.
It was
Yeah.
a double motion.
Yeah,
And And I'm not getting all the wins up here.
Mr. Chair, would you like me to call the roll?
A roll call. Yes, please.
Chairman Silvestri,
I accept.
Sandra Wright,
Yeah, except,
Lee Hartman,
Except,
Steven Santusonio,
Accept.
Christine Joy.
Except.
Thank you. Unanimous.
So Brenda, I'll reach out to them and just see what we need to do to close these accounts. And I'm not sure, what we can do, but I'll let you know. I'll let you and Mary know what they say we need to do
Okay.
to close the account.
Sounds good.
Thank
Right. Thanks, Brenda. Hey, Brenda, can you stop sharing your screen for me, please?
Sure, sorry.
Thank you. No, thank you.
Now I've
That
got to
was-
stop sharing. I just have to find the stop sharing part.
I think.
I'm going to meeting controls. I'm in the Zoom. Nope. Okay, no. Okay,
Did that work?
I
yeah.
think so. I think I'm
Yeah.
off.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry about that.
And,
Yep.
and that's the end of the meeting.
Yeah, make a motion to adjourn.
I'll
Second,
make, yeah, okay.
No roll
To
call?
adjourn.
Yeah, I don't think you need
Hey.
a roll call.
Can I interject something real quick? I
Sure.
think we're gonna need to put this on our next agenda. We need to talk about a financial policy. And I'm not sure if we can get some guidance from another planning organization or a community as to what we need to do to develop a financial policy for OCPC.
Okay. We can make some research on that.
Awesome.
And if I could just through you, Mr. Chair, and Christine, just in terms of investments or overall mindset or mission, I mean,
I think it's a little bit of everything, Mary, because Bob said this is one of the things that we need to develop as part of, the OPEB, and just whether or not we're going to be, it's our policy to be aggressive, or it's more, or we want to be more
Gotcha.
conservative, and the different type of accounts we want to have. So I think it's just kind of a broad, general idea of how we want to handle our finances.
nope, that's great. Sorry, and you're back on the OPEB mindset, but I think it is just general overall as an organization.
Right.
Okay.
so we've never had any policies at all, and no.
No,
Not that I can see. Charlie, are you aware of any?
Not that I know
Wow,
but we will, Sandra.
Yes, we
of.
will.
Yeah.
The policy was to spread out the cash reserves across different banks, CDs, which are minimal return now, but there was always a concern about what funds are FDIC insured or not. So I think that's why one of the reasons they spread it around instead of
Right,
putting
But
all
there
your
was
eggs
no-
in one basket.
but there was no formal policy.
Right.
Mhm.
Or even some of the things that Brenda brought up in her financial report, right? For us to always be in that 25%, and, just even making that statement makes it a kind of a bit of a legacy for those who may follow after all of you or after us. So I'll take a look at some things, and if anybody has some suggestions, you can send it off to us, and we'll bring it up at the next meeting. Because it will be
Awesome.
it will be timely as it talks about the OPEB and the
Right.
recommendations too, so.
Great, thank you.